Guys, I got a juicy video for you guys. European expansion news. Can you actually achieve profitability in Q4 of this year like the CEO promised? Now, Q4, it's actually pretty close, all right? Right now, we're in June. Q4 is October, November, December. Very, very soon, in just like 4 months' time, it's going to be Q4. So is it actually possible? We also have big discount news for the ES8 here in China. I have a clip to show you guys about that. So first of all, expansion news. So apparently NIO is going to be expanding in 7 European countries in 2025 and 2026. But the good news, you guys probably all worried about cash burn. Oh my God, this is going to cost them a lot of money. But these are all franchisee partners, all right? So they have the Weldon Group and the Automobilis Group. They're going to expand into Portugal and Austria in 2025, and then other countries like Romania, etc. All these other cool like Eastern European countries in 2026 as well. And they're going to bring the majority of NIO's products over there. And the good thing about this is it's a dealership approach. So they're going to be selling these cars to these guys, and they'll count them as deliveries. So that's pretty nice. So I wouldn't be too worried about the cash burn front. But you might have difference in pricing between different countries in Europe. So that could be a little bit of a concern. But whatever, expansion is good. Bringing the products to more people around the world, more deliveries, good. Net good. All right, what about the ES8? Well, apparently right now here in China, NIO has already talked about the brand new ES8 coming in Q4 of this year, which means the existing ES8 is going to have a hard time selling, right? If you know the new NT 3.0 third gen ES8 is coming, people would wait for that. So of course they're having pretty massive discounts. The ES8 costs around 550,000 RMB to start, but right now you can get it for around 300,000 RMB, which is absolutely nuts. So a fellow NIO owner went to a NIO house here in Beijing actually, and I've been to that NIO house. I actually know the NIO house manager there. And he was able to talk to the sales rep to ask about the pricing, and the pricing absolutely shocking. Have a listen.
I also have an impulse to replace my first gen ES8 with the second gen. Now the second gen ES8 is in a small light inventory stage. I wonder if I can catch a good deal. Today I'm at Zisanki's. This dealership, I'll have fellow calculate a price for me. Hi Yuan, I'm thinking about doing a trade-in today. Yes, I want to trade my 3-year-old ES8 for a second-gen ES8. I see you've pretty much selected the configuration, right? I roughly chose while on the road for color. I prefer black. It's still got that sleek look. The 100 kWh battery is more appealing, so I want that. The keel is fine, and I'll definitely get Nomi. I also want to add a tow hitch for future trips. Okay, let's choose that feature and see if there's stock. Adding a tow hitch to the second gen is actually a great choice based on the benefits and policies I explained earlier. After calculating your benefits, trade-in and new purchase subsidies, we can get it down to 303,000 yuan. 303,000 for this car, isn't it? 568,000. It's over 303,000, not 300,000. Our current discount is great. Plus, you're a returning customer repurchasing. If you don't want the battery swap benefit, you save 30,000 more. So it can go down to 273,000. This is 560,000 plus half would be 280,000. I get it for 273,000. Wow, I have to place an order now. If I didn't have this repurchase benefit as a new customer, how much would it cost? If your friend came to buy without repurchase benefits, with normal replacement and new purchase subsidies, it could be done for 317,400. I'm getting an ES8 with air suspension for 310,000 brothers. We've calculated the price. 270,000 plus for a second gen ES8. So, should I change or not? Help me decide, guys.
Yeah, you can buy a brand new ES8 for 300,000 RMB, around that price. And that's pretty nuts, to be honest. That's pretty damn cheap. That's about the price. Well, that's actually cheaper than the new ES6. But of course, if you factor in all the privileges and everything and the subsidies and everything, the ES6 is probably cheaper than the ES8. But nonetheless, you can see that pretty darn big discounts. Now, profitability in Q4. Is it possible? NIO said to achieve that, you have to basically get 50,000 deliveries per month across the two main brands. And this does not include Firefly because Firefly's cars are a lot cheaper. So, and NIO has said that means 25,000 for NIO brand and 25,000 for the Envo brand. Now, I do believe it's possible because for NIO, they've done around 20,000 plus by itself. You know, even last year, they've done it by themselves, right? So it's very possible with the new 5566, in a sense. Q4, that's when buyers really step in to buy their cars. But then more importantly, I think profitability hinders a lot on Envo, because Envo, to achieve that 25,000 per month number, that is a very steep increase from the current 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 vehicles per month. That's a big increase. You gotta like 4x that basically. And it really comes down to what your opinion is of the Envo L90 and the Envo L80. Do you think it's going to be a success or do you think it's going to flop? Because that car, to be honest, is the deciding factor for profitability. You know, NIO's service is already profitable, okay? When it comes to repairing cars, aftermarket parts and all that kind of stuff, the service centers are already profitable. The charging side of the business is already profitable, okay? Because in rural areas, scenic spots, NIO is the only one with chargers there. They can charge a very high price and they're profitable. But battery swap, you're probably not going to be profitable within the next couple of years because everybody has free battery swap. They're swapping for free. Everybody has vouchers or free swap privileges. So in terms of like these kind of other revenue areas, right, NIO is inching towards profitability. But it boils down to the L90 and the L80. And I believe that these two cars will be very, very successful because of the target customer, okay? Li Auto has seen tremendous success, even though we criticize about the quality of the parts, the quality of the car itself, how it's maybe not the best in terms of quality of materials, but they sell, right? Why do they sell? Because they provide everything that the customer wants. Big screen, comfortable seats, very spacious, decent price, good range, and fridge and all that kind of stuff. And the Envo L90 is going to provide all that plus a frunk, which the Li Autos don't have. And if you look at Leap Motor is a classic example of copy Li Auto and you get success. Their cars, Leap Motor's cars, are pretty much copies of Li Auto, but much cheaper, more bang for the buck. So if they're able to launch the L90 under 300,000 RMB, okay, and that's the starting price, bam, you're going to have a huge seller. It all depends on that, the L90 and the L80. How low of a price can they go while still having great margins? Because remember, Envo cars, they have basically no weakness except perhaps brand recognition, all right? So brand recognition is getting stronger and stronger as time progresses. And, you can see that with the sales picking up, which is very nice. But you don't have the ultimate huge car product that's very affordable for everybody. So under 300,000, and then if you're able to, slap on BAS, rent the battery, push it to just a tad below 200, above 200,000 RMB, that is going to be just absolutely beautiful. People are going to be buying that car like crazy. And of course, if you can't afford the full-size L90, you can get the larger 5-seater SUV, the L80, right? And the naming is quite clever. You want to buy the Li Auto L9? Why don't you buy the Envo L90, right? The pure electric version of that car with battery swap and, perhaps better build quality, you know, 900 volt, everything that the customer would want, right? And if you can't afford that, buy the L80, right? The Envo L80. That's going to be, a smaller version of that car. Same perks, even more affordable. So Li Auto seeing success with these type of cars. Leap Motors seeing success with these type of cars. There's no reason that Envo can't see success with these kind of cars. So it all boils down to launch it ASAP. Deliveries do not see any hiccup at all, because if you want to deliver 20 plus thousand per month for Envo, you got to be able to pump out at least 25,000 per month. Okay, so that is also something, a potential risk, but hopefully they'll have it all sorted. They'll be able to deliver the cars before the end of the year and really push us over 50,000 deliveries per month for 3 consecutive months, and bam, we got profitability along with all the cost savings that they're doing. So it's actually pretty reasonable. I believe that it can happen. At worst, we get very close to profitability, and then maybe they're profitable. Maybe not in Q1 of 2026 because, again, you have Chinese New Year, but maybe Q2 of 2026 if Q4 this year isn't profitable. So this is something to look forward to. I think the Envo L90, is going to be pretty good success, I think, in my personal opinion. Okay? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.